Cedar Valley has always been considered a town that has been a symbol of peace, quiet, and natural beauty. The atmosphere here was always soft and pleasant. Whether the weather was winter or summer, there was a strange freshness in the air. The clumps of trees, cobblestone streets, old-style wooden houses and small shops made this town different from the rest of the world. But peace never lasts forever. This time, something came with the autumn wind that shook the entire town. An unknown suffocation and anxiety spread in the air, like the prelude to a storm. People were busy with their daily lives, but an unknown worry began to appear on their faces. In those days, Michael was living his ordinary life. He taught history at a local school and had a very friendly attitude towards the students. The people of the town considered him a noble and kind-hearted man. But that night when he was returning from school, his life reached a point from which there was no return. As he walked through the deserted streets, his phone suddenly rang. No number was showing on the screen. He put it to his ear and heard a cold, mysterious, and heartbreaking voice. The voice said, "Have you ever thought, Michael, how peaceful this town is? But remember, peace doesn't last forever. There will be bloodshed tonight, and the blame will fall on you alone." Michael's heart started pounding. He looked around in fear, but the streets were empty. As soon as he reached home, he was drenched in sweat. Sleep was far from his eyes. The next morning he woke up to the news. A man had been found dead near the railway station. He had a piece of paper in his hand with only one word written on it: Michael. The police immediately moved in and he was the first to be arrested. Inspector Harris, who was considered the toughest and most ruthless officer in Cedar Valley, took Michael into custody. Michael kept trying to prove his innocence, but no one believed him. That night, as he sat in prison lost in thought, a phone suddenly rang in the detention corridor. The surprising thing was that Michael did not have a phone. But still the same cold voice was heard. "The game has just begun, Michael. The next body will be found in the morning, and the blame will fall on you as always." Inspector Harris came running, but by then everything had fallen silent. The next day there was indeed another murder. This time a young reporter was killed, and in his hand was a note that read, "Michael's move." The whole town was shaken. People started shouting that this was the killer. The pressure on the police increased to punish Michael as soon as possible. In such a situation, a new lawyer, Sarah Collins, came forward. She had recently arrived in town and worked on human rights cases. She argued in court that there was no solid evidence against Michael. After hearing her arguments, the court released Michael on interim bail. As soon as he left prison, Michael went straight to Sarah and said, "You saved my life, but why? You don't even know me." Sarah replied seriously, "Because I think you're innocent. It's all a game, and you've been made a pawn in this game." Together, the two tried to find out the truth. Michael told Sarah that the killer calls every time and leaves some puzzle. Sarah listened carefully and said, "It's not all unrelated. It's a pattern like someone playing chess. And you're the main character in this game." Michael began to connect the locations of the bodies and the notes. The first body was at the railway station, the second near the newspaper office. Sarah put her finger on the map and said, "If this is chess, then the next move will be knight or rook. There's a place in Cedar Valley, Knight Street." Michael said in shock. "So the next murder will be there." They both arrived there at night. The streets were deserted and a cold wind was blowing. Suddenly, a masked man appeared with a knife in his hand. Michael ran after him. As he ran through the streets, the mask finally came off. Michael saw that it was none other than Inspector Harris. Harris's eyes were filled with madness. He laughed like a madman and said, "Yes, this is all my game. I used you so that everyone's eyes would be on you, and I would continue to kill freely. Who would have thought that the killer was the one investigating?" Michael shouted, "Why? You were a police officer." Harris laughed. "Playing behind the law is the most fun. This is all a chess game for me, and you are just a pawn." Harris tried to attack with the knife, but at the right moment, Sarah stabbed him with an iron rod. Harris fell to the ground. The police team arrived at the scene and arrested him. The people of Cedar Valley were sure that the one they trusted the most was the killer. After a few days, the town seemed to calm down, but Michael's heart was still aching. He lay awake at night wondering what would have